What an exciting week.
We've got lots going on as usual at the DCBN, so we thought we'd give you our weekly Wednesday update. So first up, awards. That's been an exciting time this week, hasn't it?
Yes, so we've got this coming up. We've got the awards night on the 30th, but what a post you put out. So, okay, I knew about who the judges were in advance, but when you see them all written down like that, the very top and best in the industry, and what an amazing array. So come on, share it here. Tell us about the judges, because this is exciting.
Yeah, and actually, do you know what? It's a real credit to them that they really want to support the industry. You know, they're really on board with what we're trying to do as the DCBN, and they're also on board with helping celebrate everybody that works so hard in this industry building our businesses. So the judges are, for the most eco-friendly award, we chose Lime Supply, and they very kindly agreed to be the judge, and they're going to be presenting the award on the 30th as well to the winner of the eco-friendly award, because Lime Supply are really committed, and actually their whole business is based around that, isn't it, Louise?
All eco-friendly, but you're going to have to go through that about 10 times the rate to get through this list, because you have a big list of judges, don't you?
Best Newcomer Award is judged and presented by the very lovely Jamie Wilcox from the Cleanup Academy, who is a coach, and he gives amazing guidance to people in this industry who are looking to build businesses. So yeah, he judged the Best Newcomer Award for us. Then we've got the Community Champion Award, and this has been judged and will be presented by the amazing Delia Cannings, who is the current chair of the British Cleaning Council and incredibly active in the industry and a real supporter of the domestic industry as well. The Best Employer Award is being judged and presented by Stuart Franks from Peninsula, Employment Law Specialist. Staff Training Award, who other than BICS, the British Institute of Cleaning Science, they're the ones that amazingly best placed to judge that award. Best Social Media Award has been judged and will be presented by Daisy from Digital, who are specialist social media experts. The Best Domestic Cleaner in the UK award, we asked the very lovely director of the Clean and Tidy Home Show, Penny Moises, to judge that one for us. The Best Deep Cleaning Award, Ben Giles from Ultima Cleaning Academy. Who else is going to judge the best deep cleaning? Then we've got the Best Domestic Cleaning Company Award, and this has been presented by one of our partners, Henry from Superscript Insurance, because they've got so much experience in our sort of part of the industry, so they're fantastic to be judging that one. Then we've got the final award, which is the Best Holiday Let Cleaning Company Award, and actually this was judged and will be presented by Keith Hennebel from MBT Property Management, who was one of our judges last year, but his business is completely specialised in holiday let cleaning. So again, an amazing judge. So quite a lineup we've got, really.
But we've got more than that going on, because our finalists have been announced, haven't they, for the three categories: Best Domestic Cleaners, Best Deep Clean, and Best Holiday Let. And there are 3 shortlisted in each category, and you can now vote. So are we going to link underneath this? You can now vote on your favourite for each of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got 10 categories in the awards. 7 have already been decided, but the 3 categories, as you said, Best Deep Clean, Best Domestic Cleaning Company, and Best Holiday Let, are all they've been shortlisted by the judges, and now they get decided by public vote. So yeah, we'll put the link in the bottom for you to vote for your favourites.
And so exciting. There are a lot of businesses. These are the most coveted awards. So it is now get as many votes in as possible. I love this stage because it really goes right up until the end. So it ends on the 23rd, doesn't it? The 23rd of November, midnight. Yep. Actually, I say midnight. I know it's actually 11:45 because I couldn't set it to midnight, but it's set to 11:45. It will close. And all votes have to be in by then.
Yeah. And all the winners of all 10 categories will be announced on the 30th in our live event. And we'll put a link to, if you want to come along and join us on the online live event, then we'll put a link to that as well.
Perfect.
What else have we got going on? Shall I tell you what I'm doing on Monday, Louise?
Go on then. Tell me what you're up to.
I'm dying to tell you. So on Monday, I'm recording a masterclass with a representative from the British Franchise Association, and he's going to talk to me and give a masterclass on how you can get your business ready for franchising, and also the ins and outs of actually franchising your cleaning business. So that's quite exciting.
And that's good, because we get asked an awful lot. A lot of people get into the cleaning industry, can run a really good business, and now they want to know how to franchise. And I love this. So this will go into the masterclass section. So as a DCBN member, you get access to over 100 videos from specialists on how you would do this, because you can't just answer how to franchise in a Facebook answer, can you? You need to go at some length. So this is going to be really helpful. And for me, I chose not to franchise. So I love these because actually you can look at it and go, is it for me or is it not for me? And you've got no obligation before you start getting that franchising expert in front of you at the desk, and you have to say yes or no.
Yeah, absolutely. And the good thing about the BFA, the British Franchise Association, is they will literally, if you want to go this route, they will nurture you through it from where you are now to where you need to be. So this masterclass will be a mixture of, like, say, what do you need to put in place, but how do you actually make it happen? So I'm really excited for that one.
I love that. And today, the podcast with Jenna Trowell has just been released. Now, Jenna is an absolute expert in, we call it after building cleaning, but post-construction cleaning. But I loved this because what Jenna did, which was wonderful, she spoke really honestly. You can really relate to it. And at the end of it, I was like, I want to go into this. But she tells her story from really being a solo cleaner to how she becomes one of the cleaners working with some of the biggest house builders up in Scotland. And how she becomes an award-winning construction cleaning company. And so she's gone through a massive transition, but she really talks about it really honestly. So you can see yourself doing it, which is what I loved about this podcast. I just love the way she talks about it so openly.
And it's always nice that, I mean, I haven't listened to it yet because when you record them, I don't get to listen until it's released. So that's my afternoon job to listen to that. But what I really like about somebody who talks passionately about something is, you're right, it makes you believe that you can do it. It inspires you, but also I can imagine, I know Jenna, I can imagine it was quite practical as well and sort of honest about the pros and cons, I suppose.
Really practical. It will tell you the step-by-step guides, and she tells you exactly what qualifications you need, and I love it. And it's really interesting because actually she talked about how she'd come from a health and beauty background, a very successful health and beauty background. I was like, well, how does that move into post-construction cleaning? And obviously I was like, you're very pretty, how does that work on a building site? Like things like that, because they're the real questions that as women you do want to ask. What's it actually like when you're on a building site?
Brilliant. That's a nice thing about having your own podcast. You can ask whatever you like, can't you?
She just took the questions really nicely.
So, and also one of the things that's been going on, so we started this in October, it's called Monday Madness. This is where we open our diaries on a Monday afternoon to our DCBN members, and they can book a call with us to ask us any question, and they do. And so what have you been asked this week, Louise?
I've had some interesting ones. So mine have not been so much questions. I've had VAT. That was a fun one as usual. It was actually from a business that was in commercial cleaning, and they said, well, I'm going to have to go VAT registered and my accountant isn't very good, so tell me about the flat rate scheme at 11%. And I was like, and deep breath, that's the first year of the flat rate scheme, let me explain it, blah blah blah, and we go on about it. And so we have to explain it because actually the accountants don't always recommend you do that, so talking through that. And I've also had some interesting ones. I've had a few people that go, I want to give up. I've had enough. So for me, I don't love people that lack in motivation, but I do love the challenge. And I really feel that that's where I excel, in actually getting them motivated again. So for me, I've had a couple of motivation-based ones going, I want to quit. And I'm like, well, do you? Because you can. But actually, let's look at it properly. And they've come away. And I always like to do a follow-up one saying, well, call me back in a week's time. Let's review where you're up to in a week's time. Let's look at what the real problems are, because, they don't really want to quit, or they wouldn't be phoning me to talk about it.
No, absolutely. And if we can help them and guide them. And what I tend to do a lot in my Monday Madness calls is, and I've spoken about VAT, but particularly around how do I increase my price? And I've taught them through that. And we've got a masterclass on that. So, it's just sort of pointing them in that direction, but giving them some advice straight away. I've talked to people about the recruitment process and tweaking that, about how to get commercial cleans. And I pointed them to our 2 LinkedIn training videos in the training library. And then somebody needed a bit of help setting up their Google profile, so literally online on Google, actually going through the process with them. And then I think you talked to somebody, didn't you, quite a bit about, like, say, leadership and management skills and where they can get the training for that.
And this is what's interesting, because when people come in with motivation issues, it's never a motivation issue. It's, I'm failing to grow my team. And the reason they quite often can't do it is because they don't have the skills. Well, where do you develop the skills? And this is what I love, because a lot of people think you can learn from Facebook groups. Well, you can learn a little bit, you can tweak, but you have to go for some structured knowledge. You wouldn't learn like a child's education from YouTube. You would learn it from a proper structured educational place. And that's what I like. When you go to the DCBN, you get proper tuition on a given subject. You don't just get everybody's opinion on Facebook. And what did I see recently? A load of Facebook solicitors came out. Everyone, none of them are solicitors, but they all like to stick their 2 penneth worth in.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a few sort of legal groups, aren't there, and things like that. And it's like, no, you can only answer the question if you are legally qualified. Maybe that should be the same in all groups. Don't answer the question if you actually don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So what else have we been up to?
Go on, keep going.
No. So I've mentioned briefly that we released a VAT masterclass. So this is actually from our training library. It's been in there a little while. And it's basically a masterclass taking you through from where it depends where you are. So it could have been, there were some people on the masterclass that are not at the VAT threshold yet, but wanted to kind of know how to plan for it. There were some that were already there. And I think one person was like, oh, I thought I needed to register straight away. But when we realized actually they've got a month's leeway and that sort of thing. So it's a really practical masterclass that we released last week. And actually, I seem to have had so many follow-up questions about VAT that I think we might need to do something else.
Is this why I've been asked about that? I was wondering why people were asking me about that. I was like, oh, yeah. Strange, we're getting confused. But we both had some interesting ones. Indeed has changed, hasn't it?
Yes.
So actually how you use Indeed and advertise, I am loving it. You were hating it. I went, hang on, this is how you start loving it. And you've gone, oh, there's some tricks and hints. So we're going to be releasing some of the latest how to use Indeed because it's a game changer. It's so good. But if you don't know what you're doing, it's just horrific.
Yeah. And for me and for you, I believe, when we were chatting before, recruitment is definitely better at the moment, but only if you are persistent and consistent with it. And too many of us dip in and out of recruitment. It's a daily task, sometimes twice a day.
And you've been struggling. So I remember you called me going, Louise, tell me about how to register a Google business. You were having a bit of a challenge with that one, weren't you? So
yeah, it was one of our members was struggling because Google has changed, so you can no longer register your home address.
Right.
So for businesses that work from home, she wasn't able to do it, but we found a workaround, so it's fine. We figured it out.
So it's really good. When you come on the calls to us, we literally get hit with anything. You can go in any direction. And if we don't know, such as that one, I don't know when the last time I registered a business on Google was. Have I done it? Yes. Have I written training programs on it? Yes. But it changes, like the Indeed changes. So,
but also, just before we move on, out of that call, what was upsetting the member was, if I can't get on Google, I can't do commercial. I can't attract commercial business. So we had a good chat about LinkedIn and how good that can be. So actually, even though that problem will hopefully be resolved, there are lots of other ways that we can help and sort of like training we can point them to as well.
Perfect. Well, it's been quite a busy week, hasn't it? And next week's going to be just as busy. We're really ramping up to these awards now. I'm so excited. We've got still yet another little trick up our sleeves. The trick, that's the wrong word. Surprise coming along. And yeah, so look forward to our next weekly catch up.
Yep. So we'll see you next week. Thanks, Louise.
Bye-bye.